Hi everybody. I decided instead of doing a poem or a song that I'd actually do a few short stories that I've written. The first one I'd like to do is about a 9-year-old boy growing up in a small town, very small town. My dogs are there, so you'll probably hear them. Anyway, the story's called The Old Grey Bull. If I muck up, I'll just keep on reading. So it goes like this. Well, back in the day, as a young boy of 9, full of energy, with a propensity for adventure, and a 3-kilometre walk ahead, I started to walk home from school. The day was beautiful. The air was flowing through the cypress trees on the side of the road. The main drain that flowed through on that side was full of water and pampas grass, and the sky was a turquoise blue. I came upon a bridge and crossed onto a dirt road right beside Evans's paddocks, which were full of livestock. I had a quick look over and I thought to myself, being a hot day and thirsty, I thought, why don't I get over the gate and walk through Evans's land, which was a quicker way to get home. I happened to look to my left and saw a herd of steers. I know they were more scared of me than I was of them. So I pumped up my chest with absolute courage and ambivalence to anything that could go wrong, jumped towards the steers, put my hands out and yelled, and they ran back. I then climbed up onto a very old weathered wooden gate, which looked as if it would fall over in a strong wind. I started walking across the paddock, and as I was walking, the herd of steers kept following me, coming right up to me, and every now and again I would jump up and go, "Yeah!" and they would all jump up and run. And then after a while they'd come back again, walking after me. Anyway, I thought, this is really good. I'm going to make it home very quickly. My school shoes were getting muddier and muddier as I was walking across, but I thought I'll wash them in the main drain before I go home. I thought, right, this time I'm going to really scare them so that they will run off. So I jumped up and down a couple of times and screamed at them. And as I screamed at them, they parted in two. And as they parted, I was looking up the nose of a huge, old, angry grey Brahma bull with large horns and an enormous hump on its back. It was at least twice as tall as me, and it dwarfed the steers. The bull looked at me with complete contempt, almost telling me that I was not allowed to treat his comrades in that way. He let out a prolonged snort that floated and left a stench in the air. The huge metal ring in his nose made a clanging sound. I then started walking very slowly backwards. I turned my head around to see how far the fence was that I had to get to, and I reckoned if I ran really, really fast, I might be able to get to the fence before the bull was able to get to me. So I started walking backwards very slowly, and the steers started to follow me. The bull stood there for about 15 seconds, and then the bull stepped forward. He would take one step forward and then another, and then another. Each time he took a step forward, my breathing became faster, and the hairs on the back of my neck was standing straight as goosebumps formed. I thought to myself, oh well, I'm not going to make it out of here. With these horns, he's going to flip me. I decided to start to walk towards the fence. Slowly I started to walk one step at a time, and as I did, the bull took the same steps that I was taking. I thought, okay, so I started to shuffle a little bit, one step at a time, a little bit faster, and I looked around, and the bull was shuffling a little bit faster, looking right at me, as if I was something to play with. I then decided, well, I'll start to jog a little bit. So I started to jog. I looked around and the bull started jogging towards me, trotting away, and the steers right beside him. I then made a calculated decision. Thought to myself, right, there's no way that I can outrun him to the fence and climb over, because by the time I get to the top of the fence, he'll have me flying through the air. So I started to run a little bit faster. I turned around and he was copying me. The bull was running a little bit faster and the steers still right behind. I said to myself, okay, I'm not going to stop to climb the fence. I'm going to have to dive over the fence. I think I might have a good chance of getting away. So I started to run a little bit faster, turned around and the bull was snorting and looking at me, as if to say, no, you're not getting away. And he was running a little bit faster. Then I thought, right, I have to go for it. Looked over my shoulder and the bull was running full pelt. I ran the fastest I've ever run. There were times I'm sure my feet weren't touching the ground. I could feel the vibrations from the bull as his feet hit the ground. I was too focused on the fence to look around to see how close he was. But I happened to find a part of the old fence that was slightly lower than the rest. So I ran straight for it. I knew if I got to this fence, I could dive over and roll to the other side. I took one final look over my shoulder. I could feel the breath of this angry bull. Behind me, he was about 4 foot, and now the steers, with courage from their friend, were trying to bail me in. I finally reached the base of the old fence and dived. I felt like I was flying. Up, 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 and over I went, perfectly rolling onto the other side, away from danger, feeling exhilarated, rolling, 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 straight into a drainage ditch, full of mud, water, and cow manure. I was completely covered in this smelly concoction. But as I looked up to the fence, the steers and the bull stood and stared. Even lying in the filth, I laughed. I had escaped. I had won. I was victorious. The bull looked angrily at me, knowing I had got away. I got up out of the ditch triumphantly, walking to the main drain to have a wash, feeling like I had cheated death, feeling like I had won a gold medal. I had survived. Thank you very much. That's my little story. If you like that, share it and send it on. Hopefully it'll give somebody a bit of a laugh. Okay, bye for now.